Welcome back to Trap Vault, and today let's discuss Drake and how his addiction has led to affecting his career and his image. It seems that this years-long ridicule and mocking have really gotten to Drake, as it is now defining his actions and behavior behind the scenes. His approach to women and relationships really took a big transformation and pointed out deep problems he has defined by a public and private persona. First off, Drake was viewed as the one who genuinely held respect for women, which played out in his early music. His image, however, shifted, and since then has become the self-titled certified lover boy, a character often alluded to as misogynistic and using women to rise above his male peers. Over the years, Drake's music has painted an ever-complicated relationship with females, varying from songs about heartbreak and vulnerability to recent accusations of misogyny. In Marvin's Room, he was unapologetically bitter about his own pity for a former flame, coming off sensitive and brooding. Compare that to the likes of Her Loss featuring 21 Savage with bars labeled misogynistic, and it becomes clear how much his image has changed. This is in sharp contrast to his other lyrics, such as in God's Plan, where he expressed that the only woman he loves is his mother. The impression has been laid that Drake is one of those who most probably suffer from severe sex addiction, something that impacts on his behavior and relationships. Despite his efforts to present himself as a smart, composed businessman, his actions, such as pursuing the partners of friends and acquaintances, suggest a different reality. His interactions with women across various industries highlight this issue, portraying him as someone with unresolved issues from his past. Drake's behavior towards women has also influenced his public feuds and personal relationships. Prime examples of his impulsive and sometimes vindictive nature are interactions with Ice Spice and Naomi Sharon. In the case of Ice Spice, Drake took her to an event, then unfollowed her on social media after he didn't get what he wanted in a pattern of use and discard with different women.
Speculated that Drake unfollowed you afterwards. Do you want to tell us some tea on that?
He did. I don't know why, though.
Shame on you, Drake. Shame on you.
In a similar scandal involving Naomi Sharon, Drake was reported to have ended an 8-year-long relationship with her in a typical uncaringly reckless way concerning the repercussions his actions would have on other people's lives. As further told by French Montana, this mentality on relationships that borders close to disrespecting personal boundaries and loyalty is evident in the commandments the Snipe Squad follows under Drake.
Man, Splash Bros. Snipe Squad. Shout out to Drizzy. You know, he gave me the Snipe Squad thing, right? The 10 rules.
What was that?
The Snipe Squad.
I didn't see that.
The commandments are laced with rules, such as not to spend more than 3 days with someone in order not to provoke frustration.
Okay, number 3. We're skipping.
On any import from the United States, Canada, or Europe, or any other region, thou shalt practice a maximum 3-day export rule to avoid frustration.
This transactional and detached approach toward relationships has often brought him into conflict with other men in the industry, causing great damage to his reputation. Drake's weird, complex relationship with women seems to always come down to this need to prove himself, whatever that need might be. Possibly it goes back to how he was perceived during his youth. As explained on the Joe Budden podcast, these things might be ways of overcompensating for being seen as a corny kid who wasn't respected at first. This pursuit of validation and power has led him to repeatedly cross lines, even betraying those close to him, such as Lil Wayne. The allegations that Drake had a relationship with Wayne's girl while Wayne was in jail, despite Wayne's attempts to downplay the incident, highlight the extent of Drake's issues. Ultimately, Drake's behavior reveals a deeper problem, an ingrained negative attitude towards women shaped by personal and professional challenges. The first time he pulled a stunt on this nature was involving women in his disputes against his rivals. The feud with Chris Brown, said to have stemmed from a note saying that Drake was the love of Rihanna's life, and the recent allegations by Pusha T about some family issues with Drake, it serves as further proof of how his antics have perennially gotten him into trouble. This has already led Pusha T to make allusions to Drake's troubled relationship with his father, which further goes to show how deeply rooted these issues are. In sum, Drake's addiction to seeking women and his subsequent actions manifest a complicated interplay of personal insecurities, a desire for validation, and a reaction to how he has been treated both in his youth and in the industry. The fact that he heavily relies on sex and the cruel manner in which he ends up double-crossing most of his enemies present a pattern of actions that, if incorporated into his career, could end up being detrimental to his life and his legacy. If he does not cope with the underlying issues responsible for his addiction and attitude, Drake could ruin his career and legacy.